Well, g'day guys, and welcome to the bike build segment. Of course, in front of me here is the 2022 Rieju 6-day model. Now, Chad, you've got to admit this thing already comes with all the fruit, doesn't it?
It's pretty cool out of the crate, eh? With a couple of really cool things that Rieju have done pretty well with. Their add-ons like bash plate and a couple of really cool little things that, you know, a lot of the other models aren't coming with.
Yeah, it certainly has everything that I recommended and what I would need, that's for sure. But the most important thing I think is all bikes have great engines and come in good packages these days.
Definitely.
If you want it to be something that's going to ride a lot better, go and get your suspension done. So I'm out here with Chad. Chad does a personalised suspension service. We're lucky enough to grab him today. You're going to go through and get this bike dialed in for me, aren't you?
Yep. So what we've already done with this bike is we've had the suspension out, we've gone through, polished all the internals of the suspension, dampening rods, things like the MXTV low stiction piston band on the rear shock piston, which reduces mechanical stiction, and the shock makes the shock a lot smoother and a lot better, the small bump compliance. And then we've also put the SKF fork seals in the front fork, so that makes a massive improvement to how stictionless that fork moves. But what we're going to try today is we're going to try Belly with the merged progressive inner chamber spring and just see what his feedback is on that. What it does is makes the fork a lot better in a small bump compliance, but then firms up on the big bumps. So you have a plush fork on the small bumps, but still a nice firm fork when you need it on the big G outs and stuff like that.
They're really good for trail bike riding. I've had them before on my bikes previously. And when you do get to the rocky edges and things like that, it does, you know, take away those little gaps, and it's a lot plusher, as you said, to ride the bike. Now, the other thing we're doing today is some clicker adjustments, and you'll get it really dialed in for me. So we've got a little test track over there that's got a bit of everything. We're going to try and get to that happy place where I really do like these bikes once Chad's sorted them out.
Yep. No, we'll be working on getting it as sweet as we can for you, Belly.
Okay, so we've just come back from testing, and Chad, tell the people out there what you did to the bike, because I have no idea.
Okay, so basically Brendan came in complaining that the back end was getting a little bit light coming into the corners. So basically we just run in a couple of clicks on the compression on the fork, which holds the front of the bike up better, supports the front end, which puts more weight emphasis on the back wheel and got the bike to be a lot more planted, especially under brakes. I
did notice once he did stiffen the forks up a little bit, I did notice the bike was a lot more level, and it was not as twitchy coming into the corners, so it was coming in a lot more level. I was turning it a little bit better. And that's where the ergonomics of the bike come into play, the geometry, head stem angle, all these things come into play when, you know, you need those things working properly when you're riding, you know, as well as you can ride. Well, I must say, it's a testament to KYB and Rieju at the moment. It's working really well. The merge springs I noticed straight away with the small bumps. So there's a couple of small bumps coming into corners where the front end held a lot better than it did before. So I'm really happy with the bike. I can't wait to actually go out and do a big trail ride on it. Now we've got the suspension dialed in. We're going to go out, ride it, come back. I'll tell you my thoughts, but I think we're there. I think it's working really well, mate. Good job today, Chad.
All right, awesome.
Well, if you want to get yours done, talk to Chad. Just go to chadsoffroad.com.au. Check him out. It's well worth him getting out here and doing a test and getting your bike dialed in, because it does make it so much better to go riding.